good? What's good in the hood? Now, let's get to it. Now, there's many people out there that'll tell you different things. Do Sino actually sleep? I don't know, man. I'm gonna go to sleep in a little bit when I get to the crib. Lay it down. But, yeah, man, it's crazy out here. Rick Ross, Ricky Rose. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. That Rick Ross, not Freeway Rick Ross. Because I still don't understand how the real Rick Ross lost the lawsuit when that's his damn name. Now, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Rick Ross has been pretending for years. He has been pretending to be the biggest boss thus far. He has pretended to be the super rich, multi-millionaire, finna be a billionaire and all this. This dude has been the biggest pretender in the history of hip-hop. I don't think I've seen anybody fake it like this dude has faked it. Boss. This dude has tried to be Biggie. This dude tried to be Big Meech, Frank Lucas, Larry Hoover. He's tried to be it all. But one thing he's not is selling records. That's supposed to be his day job. That's supposed to be keeping the lights on. This dude has pretended to perfection. He's faked it all the way to the top. He been MC Gusto, a correctional officer. My man took the pledge when he got his badge to being one of the gangster rappers who's moving weight across the waters in Miami. I'm like, how? He know the real Noriega. The real Noriega owe him 1,000 favors. How did this guy ascend to the point where he's at the pinnacle and is still in the game? Like I told you, he's the great pretender. Ooh, he's pretended. He played ball and attached himself to the right people. But like I told you, he's signed to like 4 people. He have to pay Clive Davis, eat off him. Jay-Z and Rock Nation was eating off him. Puffy was eating off him. Everybody had their hand in the pie. They was like, this guy's delicious. We gonna keep eating off Ross. But the dude ain't selling units. He's not selling records. His concerts are terrible. If you saw Rick Ross perform, I saw him perform. He don't shut the place down. Drake is saving his career. Every time Drake get on a song with him, it's a hit. What he need is the guy who making the beats. And he be like, look, the guy who making Rick Ross beats, let me get those beats. Can you just mute that dude's vocals, Rick Ross? He buys a tax guzzling house, which is Evander Holyfield's house. That house is gonna kill you in taxes every year. They don't even make mansions like that anymore. Those are like estates. Holyfield learned, like, man, I can't keep up with this thing. I gotta let it go. Rick Ross gotta keep making records and doing business deals. That's why he tries to rent his mansion out for movies and everything to help pay them taxes. You know, I'm just trying to figure this all out. Because if you ain't the biggest boss that I've seen thus far, and you can't even get a gold album. He's never had a platinum album, I don't think. This man has made so many records and so many albums, and they go nowhere. He just put out an album. People probably don't even know. He just recently dropped an album, wasn't too long ago. That thing was literally doo-doo. It just sat there and stank. And it's not hating on Rick Ross. It's just saying that his last song sound like his first song he did when he first came out. He has not changed one bit, and it's old. His songs are old. And he's basically putting records out now to try to fulfill a record contract or something. So it's like, oh, he got a record contract he got to fulfill. They're like, oh, he's owning Wingstops. That's good. Get into the entrepreneur side. But he was the biggest pretender I knew in the game. I mean, this dude pretended to be pushing weight. This dude pretended to do all of these things that went down. One of the biggest pretenders in the game. I mean, when this dude pretending right now, he's pretending like he wants to buy the 76ers, the owner. Yeah, I might buy the ownership of the 76ers. Really? Ruben is going to step down as one of the part owners because he wants to go focus on his fanatics and the merchandising part of the business. So he's stepping away from the 76ers, and Rick Ross is talking about he can go in there and be a part owner. You know, once again, an attention grab. That's one thing about him. He's a pretender by all means. He tried to tell you Floyd Mayweather's money was looking funny in the light. Floyd ain't got no real money, man. That money be fake. I'm like, why is everybody listening to this? This dude trolled 50 Cent, trolled everybody. He was the first troll. We met Rick Ross, and he looked like he was scared to death. He way bigger than all us, but we had the numbers that day. It was gonna go down that night, and Puffy didn't know what he had just done. That was the thing. Puff didn't know what he just did. He was unaware that Rick Ross had a problem with 50 Cent, and he knew about 50 and Rick Ross situation. He did not know about Floyd and Puff. Puff didn't know about Floyd and Rick Ross situation. He didn't know 50 and Floyd was both in it together, and Ross was coming at both of them. He was unaware of that, and he brought Rick Ross into a situation where he was like, whoa, Floyd's there hanging out at the club in Vegas, and then he coming in there bringing Rick Ross. Oh, baby. The triple OGs, they were going to have a rough night that night. You had Vegas guys. You had LA guys. You had Chicago guys. We were deep. And it was about to go down right then and there, and he was trying to holler at Floyd, like to squash that, like, oh man, like he didn't know, like, oh man, like, did Diddy set it? He was looking like Diddy set him up at first, but Diddy didn't set him up. Diddy was like, oh no, I'm gonna take care of that. Floyd was like, Diddy was like, I got that, we cool. So they were trying to talk then, but it was so loud in there they couldn't really concentrate, and it looked like it was about to go up. Ross got moved back, and I'm like in the group, like, okay, like if they say take off, we taking off, and it's on for old Rossi. Rossi in trouble because he outnumbered like a mug, and you in here with like it's some wolves in there. Floyd was well protected that day from every aspect of the globe. So they was ready for anything funky. Now, after this was said and done, it got split up. Everybody went back to the hotel. Well, we were like gambling at the hotel, hanging out. Floyd and Rick Ross came downstairs, and they met and they had a conversation. Ross wanted to get there so they could be clear. And he was like, Diddy was like, no, he wanted to talk to you. He was trying to talk to you. That's why he was coming over there. He wasn't coming over there to start nothing. But everybody got loud, and that's when Rick Ross just backed up, because he knew it was on. Exactly. He knew what time it was. That's why the light, That's why it was happening. They squashed it right then and there. But 50 and Rick Ross still had a problem. But those two squashed it. They never had a problem since. $50 Cent had Rick Ross kids at his house. They didn't know the kid. They, the baby mom was there. 50 brought them over. Those kids had no idea they was being used as props. And I was really concerned with that. But no, he was running like he was the biggest boss and gangster that far, and all he was trying to do was create a gimmick to sell records. But to do that and to do what you're doing, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do all the trolling. You don't got to do all the nonsense. This is why a lot of people wanted to get away from MMG. That's why Wale had to go. He's like, look, I can't do this because that's the only way Ross could eat. Ross couldn't eat off him. If it wasn't for MMG and eating off Meek and Wale, that's what they told him. Look, man, I know you upset that we all eating your food off your records, but all of a sudden he's not bringing them in no more. His career was done. Jay-Z was done with him. He was like, look, I can't sell this guy no more. 50 Cent gonna spend every dime he got trying to destroy him. I don't know what to do with him no more. And Puff was like, give him to me. And he gave it. Puff came in for a piece, started turning him into the new Biggie, and reinvented him. And that's when Puff and 50 Cent, they beef was right back on. Well, they don't get it. A lot of these people don't get it. They see one way, and that's the only way it could be. And if they said go at that doggone, when we was out at that club, we would have came there. Well, we really didn't come there for that, but he wasn't gonna touch Floyd. I'll tell you that right now. Everybody's ready to take off. All his dudes is lined up. None of them wanted it. None of the triple OGs, none of them wanted it. They knew, like, this ain't the night. We came to chill and kick it. And Diddy knew he made a mistake at that moment in time when he saw everybody there. You can't mess with no MC from Chicago. They knew. Rick Ross didn't know what that gold cane, that black and gold cane. He had no idea what that was and what it was about. The rod and staff and all that. He had no idea what was going on. He had no idea what was about to happen. There was some real people there that night. And he was there pretending. And it was finna go left. Then he ran into problems because he going around throwing around Larry's name, to try to get fame off of it. But you're not leading the cause to try to help that man get out. You're not reaching out to Mr. Prince saying, hey man, I want to help in this situation. He's just trying to eat off his name. he ran into some people that had a problem with him doing that or saying those type of things. Well, that's Ross. He's the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. It's just another day in the life of the whack ass boss. I mean, all his songs sound the same. I can't listen to Rick Ross. I got a buddy that loves Rick Ross. I'm like, I had to make him turn it off, man. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't listen to Rick Ross. I've tried. I'm like, dog, I listened to you play 4-5 Rick Ross songs. I can't deal with it no more. I can't. I just can't. It is terrible to listen to. This man would do a feature and not even stick to what the concept of the song is. When they put Rick Ross on the nonsense song, that Accidental Murderer, I'm never going to forget that. This dude didn't follow the concept of the song at all. He just put his verse on there. I mean, but this is the thing, is that you should be at this point in your career, you should be through with your contracts. You should have paid everybody off, owned your own name and label, incorporated Ricky Rose, recorded under Ricky Rose instead of Rick Ross. It ain't gonna be too much of a difference. That way, now you got a whole new imprint that you rhyming on. The Rick Ross is under another label, under another name. That could stay frozen. Go under Ricky Rose. Keep the proceeds, get you a distribution deal with any other major, like Universal or whatever. Get your distribution deal, distribute your own music under the new Ricky Rose banner, and move on from there. Rock Nation, you probably have a managerial deal with them because that's pretty much how they do contracts now. It's like, oh, he's your, the label and management. Rock Nation is not a label, it's really a management company, I would never let my manager be the executive producer or the president of the record label. He's the president of the record label and he's also my manager. Bad idea. That is a major way to get screwed over. Is that headache? That's the real DeHaven. Peace and blessings to you, brother. You've been dropping some jewels over there. Yeah, you've been dropping them jewels over there. Educating them boys about what was going on in North Carolina. You was some everywhere, down south. But see, that's the thing too that most of y'all don't know, is that he don't glorify all the things that he did. He's really educating you on what you guys need to do. I appreciate you, brother. See, a lot of these times right now, people think everything they're going through right now, nobody done did it before. People done seen it and done it. Just like when we was in our 20s, we was thinking we was doing something new. Nothing new under the sun. But people don't glorify the life. They did what they had to do as a means of coming up out of nothingness. Now Hove is trying to come out with this Bitcoin project from over in Mars. And everybody's seeing through that right away. You know, to me, when he's involved, it's never with the intentions of really helping somebody. That's just what it is. It's always an angle. Oh yeah, because see, here's the thing: everybody's gonna invest their money into this Bitcoin, but unless you got real capital, most people over there in those buildings in Marcy, they can't be putting up that type of money or hundreds of dollars. That most people doing what they kind of trying to do to survive. They living from check to check like a mug. They ain't got time to be invested in that. I could see if they was putting up the capital themselves. But they gonna want them to sign up and put some money into something. Right, the people was telling them what they needed. People was like, man, our playgrounds is destroyed, you know, and it's just the community over there. Why don't you fix that stuff up? You know, they say he used to come by every Christmas and bring out some food and some gifts, and then, you know, and that was it. But they was like, that ain't what we need in here. We need, you know, build a community back up. Do some stuff like that. You know, that's what we need around here. But what they actually need is programs like STEM programs. Get some trading, some coding, some free educational classes. Teaching them Bitcoin and investing in that. They don't know what's going on with no Bitcoin. You want them to put some in a basically a mutual fund, so down the road they can try to still get money. They don't understand that. Y'all just trying to find another way to finesse a program which Jay just gonna be getting some money off of. And they want to use Marcy because he's from Marcy. Oh, Tracy Morgan? Yeah, he is from Tompkins. I think he talked about that before too. And they said he looked out for Marcy. There's some real ones out there, man. You know, that's, even though they in the industry, it's some that still go back to do things because they got families still over there. But you never hear about the good stuff that they do. You always hear about the nonsense. And you got people like Vlad, who I want to slap in the face because he think it's a good idea to try to instigate beefs. And he been doing it for years. And then he think he can hi-hat me, that he's so much bigger than me that he don't have to speak to me if I have a problem or we have a situation with something he done. I'm like, oh, you that big now? Okay. Man, that's what I keep trying to tell you, man. Rick Ross was somebody pretending. right? Jay took full advantage of him, signed him to a horrible contract, signed him and Jeezy, and then they start managing him. Then when 50 went after him and spent all that money destroying Ross couldn't sell no records. And that was the problem. All his records would probably go gold. But he's not eating off that. So he kept going in debt, trying to do shows. That was the only way he can keep the lights on. He was paying for the one house he had. So Diddy came in for about 25% or 30, whatever split he gave him. Jay gave him a piece of Rick Ross to help him move him because he couldn't do nothing with him. Puff came up with the idea that he was going to make Biggie and Tupac. Meek Mill going to be Tupac and Rick Ross is going to be Biggie. Stupid. I mean, it was working because Rick Ross is finna get up out of there. You know, I ain't never seen a correctional officer get a pass. That was the first time I ever seen that. Oh, Jay didn't like me telling the truth. Jay don't like nobody telling the truth. That's why they submerged my video down to the ground. I ain't seen no video like that. It stopped in its tracks and went all the way back down to zero. I'm like, all we did was tell the truth. That man sabotaged Cassidy's career over that because he was embarrassed he played himself. Jay played himself. He was so on a high after they did the Hot 9-7. You know, he played himself. And he talked himself into basically promoting Cassidy by him setting it up. And he brought out, he went on the phone, called them beans. Yeah, he talking about he got the best rapper. He don't know what's going on. He all geek. They come back over there. Beans know him. He was like, oh, he from Philly. That's Cass. Beans knew him. And Freeway just stepped up. Jay was still over there, instigating. Then, when it happened, this is how the Rough Riders got involved. Because they showed up, too. They was all waiting for everybody to get there. Rough Riders came there. They had cameras. And that's when Jay kind of like, oh, they recording this? Like, all right, until it went down. Then once he saw it going down, now he's not that happy. Because now you know I just screwed up. And I played myself. So Jay was upset mostly at himself. He ain't had nobody to blame. You know, Swiss didn't really do it. He did it. And if Swiss did that, he was a genius. So Jay held that in and he sabotaged Cassidy's whole thing. Cassidy was there that night in the Garden with R. Kelly because he was going to perform in New York and they was going hotel. Yeah. Trust me, dog. Jay came in as a feature now. Remember when he came out with that? Jay heard his vocals on the hook. Nigga ask about me, nigga. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. Jay did not like that one bit. Did not like that one bit. He's retired now. And now that he's retired, you come with this? You come and try to steal from me? Basically put me on the hook. And to settle this, if you go and look at the song now, it'll say featuring Jay-Z. Jay had to get paid. Jay was like, you are not finna take my hook. No. Do not sample my voice. I'm going to tell everybody this now. Y'all better stop it. I'm coming in 600, 700%. Stop sampling my voice. Telling you right now. Yeah. So, and I told you, this game is crazy. But Jay was messing that boy's career. But he caught a case, so it really wasn't too much more he could do to him. Because dude caught a case that really sabotaged his whole career. That torpedoed his whole thing. What his mans did that night, and bad situation. Street stuff happen when you still in the streets. Yeah, another one. He was another one, pretending to be something that he's not. Tip was another guy that's hanging out with hustlers and people who was doing all this stuff. He was never no big time weight. He was a book smart guy who thinks it's cool to be dumb. Stupid stuff. So once he went in the hustler route, because he was hanging out with them, but Alpha was the muscle. Everybody respected Alpha. Alpha Mega. That was the guy. So if you ain't talking about Alpha, then, that's who had the respect. Nobody was going to cross Alpha. Then when he got in that trouble, he had to distance himself from everybody that was in that circle, in that group. So he basically had to disband and come up with the phoniest reason ever to try to part away from Alpha Mega. Talking about some, man, we don't condone telling on no level. I'm like, if that's telling, when somebody do a crime, right, and he gonna go and lie and try to say this dude did it and send him away to protect himself, he ain't even do nothing. So if somebody's saying, I didn't do it at all, and defending themselves, that's telling. So he was supposed to go ahead and do that time for a dude who tried to throw him under the bus. And he didn't even do anything. He did it and tried to lie on somebody else. And tried to lie on Alpha Mega. Alpha Mega defended himself and said, hell no, I ain't do it. I wasn't even there, so I didn't even do it. So it wasn't like nothing to rat on. This dude tried to rat on me. So he had to go to court over that. And then they was like, oh, Alpha Mega telling. He ain't telling, he protecting himself. What are you supposed to do? Go to jail for that guy who lied on him? Yeah, Tip had to do a lot, man. A lot of cooperation over there. Then he was stupid enough to go back in and do something else. And he never recuperated. Never recouped. They both did the same things, torpedoed their career, because everybody think that they gonna wait on them to come back. Like, they think as long as they rap, they gonna be popular. People get tired of people real quick in this game. They get tired of looking at you. They get tired of seeing you. And then it's time to move on. Simple as that. And when you ain't around for a while, or you go to jail for a minute or whatever, they ain't waiting around for you. These fans ain't loyal. They moving on. Then when you come back, they look at you like you're old news. Hip hop is the only music genre where they judge you by your age. They don't even do that in R&B. In hip hop, oh, he old. I'd be like, damn. And like I never knew what Luther Vandross' age was. I never knew what Anita Baker age was. I ain't know about these people's age. We judged it by the music. We didn't know how old anybody was. We didn't care. We loved the music. But in hip hop, your age, it means everything, huh? We just gotta put him out the paw. He's old school. Oh, he's an old head. Right. And what Tip at now? Still working under Jay. Still Jay-Z got him under his thumb. He gotta be with whatever Jay say the cause is. Jay be like, we boycotting this perfume and this cologne company because they don't sell the blacks that we like. And then here come Tip out there, yeah, y'all, this is SOS. We ain't gonna be messing with them no more. They ain't treating us right. Jay just told me what happened. So yeah, that's the gist of it, really. I never looked at it that way. My thing is, be yourself. You know, Rick Ross shouldn't have to pretend. The real Rick Ross, I see why he pissed off. That's his name. And you got this guy faking crap off your life and ain't giving you a dime. That's the biggest thing. Rapping your life, but ain't giving you a dime. I'm telling you, this was CB4 for real. With MC Gusto. Right, Freeway Rick Ross come out, you talking about you moving weight and all this. You a correctional officer. Stop. Stop. A Carroll City cop decides he's gonna start telling stories about somebody else's life. Right? That person come out and say, hey man, I'm not about that no more. I'm not promoting that, and you messing my name up. I'm just got out, and you out here messing me up, and you ain't trying to do nothing with me, period. Or saying, hey man, I'm gonna do a tribute to you, man. I know I used your name. I'm sorry, brother. Nothing. None of that. All he did was take, and take. Biggest fraud I've seen in the game. Biggest pretender. He's got to be one of them, man. No, my thing is that the pretending that they do. Now, I like the fact that he's entrepreneur. He's getting involved in all of these different aspects of, the game. As far as, I'm going to use this hip hop thing to open up other doors and avenues. I'm cool with that. Promoting that is cool. No problems with that whatsoever. But promoting, at some point you should pivot. Your career should say, okay, I've been in this 10, 15 years. If you 10, 15 years still talking about you the biggest boss you done seen thus far, I'm still moving dope. It's like, dog, come on, you gotta grow. If your rhymes and your lyrics is still talking the same thing as your first album, then you haven't changed. Your audience is gonna know that. And they ain't gonna want no parts of it. You're gonna see your audience leave you real quick if they don't see growth. Remember y'all was telling Nas he need to make another Illmatic? And what did he say? You thought I'd make another Illmatic, but it's always forward I'm moving, never backwards, stupid. Here's another class. He's not moving backwards, he's moving forward. Why would he want to go back? No. That was the thing. He got MMG. Meek is another poor soul. Signed to Jay, signed to Meek. Rock Nation is his management. But he's still under MMG. So Meek Mill is not going to make no meals. Another artist that's faking it, and it's sad. Because it's like he didn't have, he used to have, when he had those flamers, when he was doing all that, he was hungry. He was out there thirsting. He was ready for that shine. But he was signing with T.I. Then T.I. went to jail. So that messed him all up, and he got released from Grand Hustle, and then he ended up rolling on over with Ross. So that was never supposed to happen that way. He was supposed to be with T.I. But that whole Grand Hustle play messed up. And the whole ball got dropped, so they had to reshuffle the deck. But Meek was never one of those. He was never those goons out there like that. He was never the savage type. And it was nothing wrong with that. He was a rapper. It's like, dog, it's okay to let people know you a rapper. Like, hey, I rap. Cool. Be like, my cousins, they different, but I rap. Cool, no problem. But they feel like no one's gonna pay attention to them if they just a rapper. So they gotta be about everything that everybody else is. Rick Ross is a legend. A legend of what? A capping legend. I think he invented capping. That dude would say anything. He talking about he finna buy. He run. Yeah, I should buy the 76ers. He want to buy the part ownership of the 76. Another marketing ploy. Well, he's trying to figure out ways to use that house and, keep putting it up for movies because that's going to help him pay those taxes. This is why Vander Holyfield had to let that place go. This is why 50 Cent had to eventually let that mansion go in Connecticut because that was a money guzzler. They don't even make mansions like that no more. But all those bedrooms, because you can afford the house. It's the amenities that's gonna break you. Like Rick Ross, like I cut my own grass. Yeah, you gonna have to. You know what it's gonna take for amenities for that mansion that he got, and what he gotta pay a month just to keep all that afloat. That's a lot of acres. So he's doing the right thing by trying to, that's why I Coming to America film there. Another TV show, he's trying to see if they want to do a contract, and that's good because now he's getting someone else to pay the revenue. But this is why he always going to be continuously working, because you wondering why he keep making albums. That's how he stay relevant, because he got to do shows. He got to go out and tour and do these shows, but his shows are bland, they pathetic, because it's like no energy when he's out there performing. It's like just basically pathetic. I don't know what other word to use besides that. It's like the same old, same old. All the songs sound the same. About him pretending to be the biggest drug dealer in the game. Jenny Craig want to talk to me. Why would Jenny Craig want to talk to me? Have you ever seen me, dude? Do I look like I need Jenny Craig? I need to lose weight? Where? Where do I need to lose weight, buddy? You see this? Where? Where? Where do I need to lose the weight, buddy? This perfect nose of mine? Sorry, my nose is perfect. This is a nose of kings and queens. They used to hate our nose. They used to shoot our nose off all our statues and everything so that people wouldn't recognize who we were. And somebody who's the same complexion as me would talk about our nose? Are you kidding? I'm regal, buddy. Yeah, the Godfather Harlem was off the chain. That's Forrest Whitaker's getting back to what he need to be doing, baby. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Thank you, Keisha Paul. The #1 stunner, for real. He always is stunned. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just saying he's the best pretender in the game. I've never seen nobody pull it off like that. With all of that stuff going on with him. He's a good pretender. But as you can see, his record sales have dwindled to an abysmal point right now because he's been doing it for so long. These younger guys have moved on to these other young artists, and his rhymes and his, there's no growth. There's nothing new. So even if he goes and get one of these new and upcoming rappers and rap on these songs, that still ain't gonna do anything for Ross, because if they go, you put out your album, it's still the same old, same old. Same spiel. Pusha T. I might have to check Pusha T out. Check out his album now that Tom Brady says it's #1 album of the year. So I'm like, Tom said that. Let me go back and see what I'm listening. But y'all have a good morning and a blessed day. Hopefully y'all do something positive out here today. Everybody be safe out there. And we'll speak to you guys later. God bless.